Hi, my name is Mi, and I'm back here at the So Be It Studio Instagram stories today. I'm going to guide you through today how to make some cute food themed pot holders or trivets. I've already made an egg and a jam jar, but I also want to add an avocado. So this pattern I have simply drafted myself on just a regular letter size paper, and I've added some seam allowance all the way around my avocado, and I will show you now what supplies you need for this. So for this you'll need your pattern, and then I'm just using fabric scraps for this. So I have one color here, one fabric for the pit. I have one color for the front of the avocado and another color for the back. Now, if you don't have these colors, of course you can use anything you want. You'll also need some batting. If you don't have batting, use any thicker fabric that you might have in your stash. You can use maybe like a wool fabric or a flannel. Just make sure that if you use wool, it's pre-washed so it won't shrink. If you have heat and bond, that's also great, but it's not necessary. It's just to get the pit to stick onto the avocado, but I'll show you how to do that without the heat and bond as well. The next step is to attach the handle to the front of your piece, and I folded it in half, and I'm going to place it on the inside of my fabric, right up against the edge of the fabric, and I'm going to sew back and forth here a few times. Now you're going to sew all the way around. However, you do need to leave an opening at one point so that you can turn everything right side out. My seam allowance for this is 1/2 inch, so I'm going to be sewing it 1/2 inch all the way around. Next step is to add the pit to the avocado. If you have heat and bond, you're simply going to trace the pit onto the heat and bond, and then with the sticky side fuse it onto your fabric. If you don't have heat and bond, simply just retrace this on a separate piece of paper and cut it out from the fabric. I've placed my pit onto my avocado. If you're not using heat and bond, simply just pin it instead. You are now going to attach this to and sew all the way around it to secure it, and we're doing that through all pieces of fabric to make sure that the batting stays in place. You're going to sew your pit in place using a zigzag stitch, and when you sew this, just use the standardized setting on your machine. Make sure that one side of the stitch goes onto your pit fabric and the other side of the stitch goes onto the right fabric. So my avocado pot holder trivet is now done. As you can tell, it was a pretty quick project, and it's also a great way to use your scrap fabrics. If you make your own version of this, we would love to see it, so please tag us in this. And if you want to continue follow me on my own personal account, I'll put up a little tag onto that here.